Hi guys, it is Wednesday in our hearts. It's 8 o'clock and it's time for the Blacklist. Now, Scott, if Wednesday is hump day, what is Thursday?
Wow, no. Double hump day, maybe?
Is it like spoon day?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe slide day. Because you're like, phew, slides are fun, right? Phew!
Coming down the...
Sliding day. Or, water slide day, even better. Water slide that goes outside the building day.
Oh.
No, maybe that's Friday, maybe. That's a bit much for a Thursday, to be fair.
Yeah. I'm staying dry on a Thursday, water slide on Friday.
Let's go back. Maybe Thursday's the stairs to get up to the water slide, and Friday is the water slide that goes out the building day.
But you're already coming down the hump from Wednesday, so surely you should be on the... You're sticking a staircase after hump day.
Well, that's kind of how Thursday feels most of the time, doesn't it? It's like hump day, there's still 2 more to go. This is horrendous.
So, I don't know if you noticed, but we upgraded our intro.
We did.
It's a little bit exciting, isn't it?
It was quite exciting, actually, to look at that. It was nice.
I mean, it's not like the old one didn't serve a purpose, but it was thrown together in about 20 minutes in PowerPoint when we realised that we were going to go live on that first evening, and we're like, shit.
Hi, Teresa, Kirsty, Mac. Hey, welcome on board, guys. Nice
there we go. I had to switch my chat from top chat to live chat because I was like, there's no one in the chat, but they were all there. It's just hidden away for some reason.
Absolutely. Hey, Black Sunshine. Hello.
Good evening, everybody. How are we? Hope you're all doing as well as we are on this Wednesday/Thursday evening.
It's definitely Thursday, Will. Definitely Thursday.
Yes.
But from the absence of anyone else, obviously we also need to furnish the rest of Black Lakes with a calendar because I think we've completely freaked people out. But we have a fairly big gig on the weekend, and last night was the night that we had 2 big gigs on the weekend. Last night was the night we needed to do some serious deep dive Peruvian note flute jazz. So it only left this evening. But man, I'm glad to be back because I missed the last one because I wasn't feeling well. So it's been like 3-4 weeks for me. Hey, Kaz.
You've been missed on the Blacklist, sir.
That's very kind. We say, hey, Susie, hey, Sam as well. Welcome on board.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, if you're, late is a strong expression, but if you're suitably rock and roll a couple of minutes after, you may have missed the brand new Blacklist introduction. So you'll have to go back at the end and rewatch the front.
You gotta go back.
Yeah,
as the doc might say.
There's some cool, exciting footage in there. If you pay super attention, maybe even footage you've never seen before.
Oh my goodness.
Let's move on swiftly, but yeah, definitely worth going back and having a look at the intro.
Do you want to see something cool?
Yeah, go on. I do. I always want to see something cool. You're bigging this up now. It's better be cool. Where'd you get one of them?
That's the new ERB shirt, which
I'm well aware.
Which features the little band right there.
We're right on your tit there, aren't we? No,
right on the teat. As the Black Lakes, as Guy B would call us, the Black Lakes.
What are we above and what are we under? That's what I want to know.
Who are we under? Who are Black Lakes under? We're under Nova Story, and we're above Those Damn Crows.
Nice. Well, I like the way that Mason Hill's kind of propping us up as well. That's quite nice. I'm alright with that. So did you get 7, or did you buy one of those?
George and Claire very kindly furnished me with one for continuing to contribute to the magazine. Yeah.
Well, I definitely want one myself at some point. And if you haven't already, do make sure you read the ERB magazine. Do subscribe. Do check those guys out. I'm sure many of you do anyway. But yeah, awesome.
The new issues. That's out of reach. Can't get it. There it is. There's the brand new one.
There is.
We'll have to put up some sort of sponsorship message at the end. Just
yeah, absolutely.
I promise we're not being paid by ERB to talk about them. It's just a really, really good magazine written by really, really good people. And every so often we appear in it, which is really, really good.
Absolutely.
Kind of blows my mind every time. But yeah, it's well worth reading, especially when we're not in it.
Yeah, well, we're in quite a few and just not in this one.
Yeah.
No, sorry if you... I'm just checking out the chat now. Yeah, good. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, we'll absolutely rewind afterwards. Clearly, the things that me and Will have to talk about are far too exciting to rewind now. That would be terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't really have an agenda.
No, we are completely making this up tonight. But I would have to say, at the risk of starting Black Lakes related, obviously 2 massive shows on the weekend. We will be playing in our I think both exclusive and first ever acoustic set on Saturday night. So that is going to be really interesting. We have been hammering that one.
We're trying to get it right, haven't we?
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. So Saturday night is actually already sold out at the Patriots in Crumlin, South Wales, where we'll be supporting a pretty big rock band that many of you, I'm sure, have heard of, called Gun. They had a massive. I think I was reading today, it's like 3 top 40 hits in the 90s, and they're huge, big band. So we're playing with them on Saturday. Then on Sunday, just keeps coming. We're playing the Hangar 18 Festival in Swansea, which seems odd, Monday, but it's a bank holiday in the UK on Monday, so we get another day off. I don't know in the States whether you have too many bank holidays, but we have a bank holiday Monday, so the Sunday is effectively Saturday. This whole week is just that one day after. Wednesday's Thursday, Saturday's like Friday. Oh man, what's going on?
Yeah. So I'm trying not to think about it. I'll just go with it.
Going to be a big weekend, so I don't know whether hopefully we'll see some of you on Saturday maybe, or Sunday.
I think there's a few tickets left for Sunday if you want to come down for the day. There's some corking bands on Sunday, not just us. Very, very keen to catch some South Salem live.
Yeah, no, indeed, no, that should be good. That should be good. So yeah, big events there, and there's oh god, it's one of those annoying weeks where there's so much going on, but very little that we can talk about yet. In terms of it's like, hang on, and yeah, so there's lots of pipeline. There is a lot of pipeline.
Teresa Taylor's asking when you're not in the north. No.
Well, there may be northern pipeline. There may be northern pipeline, but as of right now, stuff that's announced, it's fairly southern.
I keep posting stuff in our band chat, and I have to keep posting in capital letters. You cannot talk about this on your socials until this date, this time on this date. I've never been. I say I've never been in a band, but I've been in bands, but no, I've never been in a band where we've had embargoes on what we can and can't talk about.
No, indeed, it is a weird thing to get used to.
It's an added level of complication. I'm not good with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have to agree. And again, without being overly honest about stuff, it's weird. You kind of feel like it feels like it goes against my nature of being fairly sharey-carey, I suppose. And it's like, I can't talk about that. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yes, we are. We do. Honestly, I promise, we do hear you loud and clear. We've got the East Coast of America, London, the Midlands, and the North. There is a lot of demand for all of those things, so we are working on it. I would say we're closer than ever to the north of England, maybe, but then you can't get much more north than Scotland. We've made it to there, so it's all about expanding out from where you are. So shouldn't be too long, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, Kaz says, or in London. London's a funny one, isn't it? Because it's really expensive, and it's a bit of a risk, isn't it? Like anywhere you go is a bit of a risk, because if you don't have the fan base, you're playing to an empty room, which, that's one thing that's not ideal. It doesn't feel great. But the worst thing is the financial aspect of it. It's just you can't do that. You can't. Like, there's 6 of us. We don't at this moment in time own a van. Although if I keep looking at the amount of vans that I'm looking at, I'm going to be buying one any day now. It's just, we've got 4-5 cars each time wherever we go. It's just we are very conscious about our footprint as a band, and we try and minimize where we can. So we are renting a van for the Scotland gigs, and we'll spend the weekend cooped up in it together. But even that, it's a big cost.
I'm sure we'll get to London at some point. I don't even think it'll be that long. Although, really interestingly, these days, a lot of things are sort of in this area as well. If you know what I mean. Like, there's not too many things that are only London these days. If you know what I mean.
No, I just think London's one of those places that looks good on the poster, doesn't it?
well, always. You know what I mean? I'll take playing the Roundhouse or the Ali Pali or
Oh yeah, sure. We'll just we're moments from booking one of those. Yeah,
or the Camden Underworld. All of those are good.
I'd like to play the Underworld.
Yeah, but I've played there before. It was an interesting. Yeah, no, I am not. It was an interesting inside room. Yeah, there was a lot of past and present greats on the wall in that dressing room. I have to say there was. But yeah, no, we do hear you. We aren't not listening. Annoyingly, some of these things take time. So I will be probably more delighted than the people wishing to receive us to get out to the Midlands and the North and to London. And then obviously, if America happens, then we're in great shape. We're in great shape when we get over there.
That would be very pleasant.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've played the Fiddler's album before. Kaz is saying Fiddler's. I'm pretty sure I played that before in a previous band. It rings very much a bell. Which part of London is that in, Kaz? Remind me. I'm pretty confident we played there before. I'm sure we can slide in there at some point.
Yeah, there you go. Look, Susie just said Sumo Psycho just bought a van / bus. They reckon it's going to take 5 tours to pay for it. Well, I'm in a situation where I'm looking at selling my car to buy, to offset some of the cost of the van. That's how badly we need a van and how badly I want to get one. And even if I sell my car, it's only going to take a small amount of the money off if you want to buy a van that's actually practical and reliable. It's really difficult. It's really difficult.
Absolutely. Although you're going to tell that story from the other day where you comically posted online, "Oh, anyone want to lend me 20 grand?" And then someone started genuinely offering it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for interest. I mean, a genuine loan from a fan in Denmark, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah. And then, I'd feel bad about accepting the loan in any case because it would take one heck of a van to get us to Denmark and put in the near future.
Or a van. Yeah, although it's not too far Denmark.
Anyone want to buy us a boat? Or a plane?
Yeah, no, hydrofoil, hovercraft, we'll take anything.
Kaz says, what about you crowdfund for a van? No, crowdfunding, and this sounds ridiculous, like given our recent history in that we superseded our target for crowdfunding the album, I am still nervous about crowdfunding. And also with the album there was a tangible, you put in something and we give you something. With the van you'd just be giving us money, and like it feels a little bit like exploitative. There definitely needs to be a trade when doing, and I struggle to stand on our merch stand and sell stuff to people because I feel like I'm robbing you for what we're trying to sell. Like I feel bad that you should part with your money for our album or what have you. So the idea of just saying, hey, put all your money in a pot so that we can buy a van, I can't do it.
No, I'm sure we'll crowdfund again. I would have thought probably album 2 will require or need some crowdfunding potentially, but we'll cross that bridge as and when we get there. We have so many gigs lined up at the moment on album 1. It's like, right, gotta carry on pushing that. There you go. We give you money, you give us shows. That's nice. That's very kind. Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks. We appreciate that. No, and there are shows that are coming aplenty. I think there are more shows to. Yeah, there's a lot of shows coming up that we all the time, every month at the moment we've got something going on. There you go.
Like was it 2 weeks ago on the was it Tuesday or Wednesday? No, it's Thursday. We had that day where we were just like, this is the weirdest day, where we got like 3 gig offers in, like one after another, and then I found that 40 quid on the floor as well. It's just like, this day is insane.
But not a van though. Still waiting for
funnily enough, I didn't find a van. Yeah.
That's absolutely right, Susie. He was selling some stuff. I mean, not intentionally. He just started going, how much are those? £40 for a wristband. It's £80 for a t-shirt. Not literally those prices, but he was selling stuff. He did.
I like it. Ruthless.
Yeah, he did. He was a future marketeer. Maybe we should get him to manage the band. Yeah, he
can't do a worse job than we do on our own half the time.
Probably, I would like to think, probably to the most or the more, humble, I guess, and think, oh God, you're going to buy a T-shirt. All right, that's amazing. So maybe not the best people to stand the merch stand, but hey, maybe that's why we get some stuff shifted, I suppose.
If anyone comes to a Black Lakes gig and they want to stand on the merch stand for us for a little bit, you're more than welcome. We'd be quite happy to leave you in charge of it. Like, well, that's a serious offer because
I know.
The normal protocol for a Black Lakes gig is we all arrive, everyone farts about with their gear for as long as it takes, and I set up the merch stand, and then we'll play a show, and then the entire rest of the band just somehow evaporate into thin air. God, I don't know how they do it every time, but like they do manage to just disappear. And then I'm left manning the merch stand, the most socially awkward member of the band, with nothing to say for himself, is left stood there going, oh yeah, that T-shirt's £15, please, sir.
But then at the same time, what Will forgets is everybody wants to talk to the singer. So you could turn up and it's like, oh, it's the singer around, go speak to the singer. The singer there, I want to buy it off the singer. So yeah, I know you don't see that side of it because you're the singing side. So remember, it's you are the face of the lakes. Unfortunately, that is the reality of the situation. Everyone wants a little bit of Willie P.
You should have picked a better face, my friend.
Exactly. So, but I promise on Saturday, because there'll be less gear, I will stand on the merch stand for at least a minute and a half.
Oh wow, a minute and a half. That's very gracious. Are you sure?
Maybe 2 minutes if you're lucky. Ooh. But no, I was on the merch stand quite a bit in fuel. I think
I might have time to go to the toilet if you.
Yeah, only if you ask nicely.
Wait, that makes it sound like we're just constantly selling at shows. I might have time to go to the toilet because there's so many. The queue is just out the door.
Yeah, Sunday's going to be insane because we actually have like a schedule. We have the instructions where we can only be side of a stage at a certain time. We can only sell merch at a certain time. So
I was so excited to see that schedule when it was like, you can set your merch stand at this time, you can take down your merch stand. I was like, oh yes, we can take down the merch stand early.
It was pretty well organised, to be fair to those guys. So fair play to them. But
yeah, I'm really looking forward to that on Sunday.
Sunday's going to be super efficient, and there will be a finite amount of time you can buy Black Lakes merch at that festival. So that'll be good. There we go. Fly me over and I'll volunteer. So forget the van. We're going to crowdfund Becky to be able to be flown over from the States to man our merch stand. Yet to be announced. And, we'll buy a van as well. Why not?
Yeah,
we'll do it all.
We'll do both. Like, one of my relatives is a car dealer. And I was talking to him about trying to procure a van. And he was like, oh, what kind of van? And I was like, a black one. And he was like, yeah, what? But what kind? And I was like, I don't care. And it just has to be black, please. That's the only thing I care about.
And then it runs. Yeah, no, I'm a bit like that. It's like,
it needs to work, and it needs to be black. I want one that works.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not a big petrol head myself either. I have to agree. We were obviously, myself and Davith and Dylan got to get on the Just Chops In podcast this week as well. That was fun. So that'll be coming up. I don't know if you've ever checked those guys out before. Two Welsh lads with great tasty music. Although one of them lives in the Netherlands now. And just to translate.
Wait, so again, one of them's Scottish?
No, they're both Welsh.
One of them's Welsh. One of them lives in.
One of them lives in the Netherlands.
Where does the other one live?
There. Well, I assume South Wales.
But they have a radio show on Scotland Rocks Radio.
Yeah, they do. They have a radio show on Scotland Rocks Radio via the Netherlands. Anyway, yeah, we were on that. And just to translate, chops in is like a slang Welsh term for speaking or talking. But
it's like being a bit cheeky talking, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's slightly derogatory. It's like he's chopped. He's running his mouth.
He's being a bit chopsy.
Being a bit chopsy, exactly. So yeah, that was good. They were good guys. It was fun to be on there. They've had all kinds of unbelievable people on there.
I'm very sorry that I missed that one. I was that was sort of during my desperate bid to rest my voice to try and get it back before this weekend, which I'm glad to say is pretty much back to normal. I have been on a strict water-only diet with these beers excluded from that list because I was making, it's Wednesday/Thursday night. It's the special Thursday hump day. I'm gonna have a beer. These come around once every few millennia. A hump day on a Thursday. So I'm celebrating.
It's a water slide Thursday. Yeah, but no, it's all those.
It's not. It's the ladder Thursday. The ladder before the water slide Friday.
It's all the wire wool and the nails that you've been gargling. That's such a great thing to your throat. No, to be fair, last week you were sounding pretty awful, as in spoken word, still singing like an angel. And then it's like, oh, right. Oh, yeah, you couldn't speak, but you could sing.
That was weird actually. Like I could just about sing as long as I stayed in a low register, and then as soon as the song finished, I was like, "Yeah, that was really great, guys."
But you seem to have your voice back this week.
I sounded like a bad guy from Scooby Doo.
I think you're giving yourself too much credit there. I'm not sure you'd even make the cut.
I would have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for this meddling band.
Yeah, beer does have water in it. That's an excellent point, well made.
It's old man Scott, the guy that writes the music for that Black Lakes band.
Yeah, absolutely. The double face, the double mass reveal. Yeah, no. So that beer does look good, though. Will, to be fair, it does look like a fine and nice beer.
Well, I mean, it's Bud Light. It is what it is. It serves a purpose. I like a couple of Bud Lights in the evening.
Why not?
I texted my friends the other day. I was out shopping, and I walked into Morrison's, and I don't go into Morrison's very often because the Morrison's near me is interesting, and they were doing a deal, and it was like 2 crates of 20 bottles of Budweiser for 20 quid. And I was like, that's insane. That's like 50p a bottle for Budweiser. Sure. And my friend came over and I was like, these are 50p each. And he was like, oh, cool. And I was like, I could just see in his eyes, he was thinking, yeah, well, it should be less because it's Budweiser. And I was just like, oh.
Budweiser is... they were worse beers than Budweiser.
Yeah, I think I just blew our sponsorship possibilities.
Yeah. I mean, I would say we should do a ranking of beer, and then we're the wrong members of the band to do this, but I would say Carling Black Label is probably the worst, or Carling is...
I thought you were going to say the best then for a second. I was just about to say, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and Foster's is pretty foul.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and Heineken's not great either, so I think out of all of those cheap beers, Bud's pretty good compared to those three in general. I've always quite liked a white beer. They had I quite like white beer. That is pretty tasty, I have to be honest. I enjoy those. They did Kronenberg did a really cracking one that you can't get in the UK so much these days, but that was awesome. A white beer, or blanc as they put it.
A blanc.
Blanc with their sophisticated French ways.
Right.
Yeah, but it was nice one. Yeah, I do like a white beer. Now these days I've got to have a gluten free. So there is a gluten free Peroni, so that's not so bad. That's right. There is. But I don't really like Peroni. I'd like there to be a gluten-free Corona, despite the viral connotations these days. A Corona with a lime is a pretty tasty beer.
It was an unfortunate name. I mean, you know.
Yeah, bless them. Yeah, imagine we'd be called, I don't know, COVID Lakes or something. That wouldn't have been, it's not good for the marketing department, is it? If you're named after a worldwide pandemic.
It's less than ideal. I also found it really, really interesting, the amount of bands that suddenly came out with... like pandemic related stuff. There were so many bands that had the isolation sessions and all this kind of stuff, and I was just like, I just don't want to tap into that as like an income, like a revenue stream. People are dying. It's probably not like something that you want to be like, hey, you know what? You may have lost all of your elderly relatives, but we did put out this cool album.
Yeah, and I think the masks they make sense in the long term, but early on it did feel a bit distasteful. Like buy our mask so that you can.
You can wear a mask with Korn written across it or whatever band. Like, no thanks, I'm good.
I think Korn came out with theirs first, as I remember, which is respect to Korn, that's fine. Maybe it's a different vibe in the States where it was seen as a good thing and you want to get your mask on, because I think there's more of a controversy over there, isn't there, about whether you should mask or not. Whereas in the UK it just came across as a little bit like cashing in on death, never a good thing.
Yeah, it's not ideal. There was a band that the 2 guitarists were wearing face masks, just like that was sort of getting big just before COVID happened.
Northling.
Is that who it was?
Northling, yeah. And I thought they had this kind of cool vibe going on. I was like, oh wow, mask things, and then now it just looks like they got COVID.
Yeah, so, they just everyone's doing that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was listening to a comedian the other day that said he used to have a joke that was quite funny, about Rishi Sunak because everyone reasonably liked him compared to Boris Johnson. The thing is now, that joke doesn't work anymore. So he's had to immediately change his set because basically no one finds it funny because everyone thinks he's an arse.
Yep.
Gluten-free Bath ale is all right. Nice to know. So where do you get gluten-free Bath ale from? I'll have to find out, I guess.
She makes it in her bath.
Oh, look at that. I mask any time in public. Good for you.
Well done. I try to. I still try. I've got a mask in the car.
I never leave the car without sanitizer on my mask. I never go out without one. I've always got it, and then see how many other people are ignoring it. But every time I'm in a shop, in a public place, I'll always put one on still at the moment. Despite the UK government telling us it's gone away, it's all gone.
Woo! We won.
Yeah, it's vanished. Yeah, we won the war against Corona. Yeah, but still. Yeah, but at least we're moving into World War III instead of coronavirus. I'm not sure which I prefer.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, there's plenty of material anyway for a rock band to be writing about, so that's all good. Like the last few years have been rife with absolute total and utter. I mean, Crubs, if System of a Down was still going, there'd be 6 albums out by now with the amount of rage that's going on.
I'm sure, aren't they back? I thought they were back. I thought System of a Down were back and writing.
They're not making. Well, they made 2 songs, didn't they? Because of a major genocide in there.
Protect This Land, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and Genocidal Humanoid, I think, was the other one, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Neither of which I thought were particularly impressive.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't System's finest stuff. I have to be honest.
No.
Yeah, is that a Fat Reefer there, Will?
Oh yeah, of course, mate, of course.
Just blazing up on the Blacklist.
Yeah. No, it is an Incense. It's my favourite nag champa. The only, basically the smell of Camden. These things.
Oh, okay. Well,
Whenever I like one, I just think of Stephen Merchant, on the Ricky Gervais podcasts. He was talking about a time he went to a house party and they were burning incense and they were like, "Oh, Steve, you're right." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm just really high." And they were like, "It's not drugs, Steve." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm just really high on life, man. I'm just so happy." It's so fucking cringy.
I've never liked incense. I've never liked it. It's always, I don't know, it just something about the smell I find really off-putting.
Well, if you don't like the smell, that's gonna really put a dampener on it, isn't it? Because that's what they're all about.
Absolutely. I remember going to see Alice in Chains supported by Ghost before Ghost were astronomically massive, and they had incense. I was like, "What is this? I've never seen a band bring incense out before." Wasn't my cup of tea. If you like your incense and your scented candles, go for it. But yeah, I'd like to think you're never going to get one of them at a Black Lake show. I just don't like the smell. It's disgusting.
Well, I never say never.
Yeah, discovered Dragon's Blood recently too, and I think I'm hooked on that one now. Wow. I didn't even know their brands are there of incense. They're different flavours and stuff.
Flavours, yeah. You eat them and they taste great.
Hang on, whoa, screw you, hippie. If you look up the dictionary definition of flavour, it derives from taste and smell. So I'm actually using.
But surely fragrance is correct for.
Go look it up.
Guys, come on. There's at least 7 of you watching. Help me out here. Fragrance is smelling it. Flavour is tasting it.
Sure, fragrance is a type of smell, but it's a flavour of smell. Yeah, there we are. So what is it? Nag shampoo.
Susie says sense. I say you're talking nonsense, mate. That's.
This is going to get. If this gets too far, I'll have to bring up the dictionary definition of flavour to say.
He's going to switch his cam to screen share whilst he goes to the Oxford Dictionary website.
Wow.
Don't do it.
All I speak is the truth. What can I say?
Okay, I believe you.
You can have flavours of perfumes, flavours of incense. That's the reality.
Okay.
Anyway, should we move on swiftly?
Yes.
So, maybe we should do Black Lake's incense that I would never buy. Maybe that should come out. Maybe we should do that.
A Black Lake's incense. What would it smell of?
I don't know. I always like the smell of inside of guitar cases. They're a bit like a new carpet or a new car smell.
I hate new car smell.
Oh, see, I love new car smell.
It makes you feel a bit like
tasting smell.
I don't know. It hits you right in the back of the throat. I think because I've always suffered with motion sickness anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So cars in general aren't great, and if you get into a car and there's a smell that already upsets you, it's just going to get you to that nasty point quicker. So new car smell has never been something that I've enjoyed.
No, I'm similar to you.
Teresa Taylor says soup. A soup scented incense.
Oh, that'd be quite funny. Black Lake soup flavored incense. Oh, sorry, soup scented incense.
Thank you.
Well, what soup? I mean, I like mulligatawny. Can we go with mulligatawny? That'd be nice.
No, just Black Lake soup. Then you can just do whatever you like.
We did come up with our secret gig name this week as well, completely unintentionally. We were messing around with this idea of how would we play a secret show, and there were a couple of obvious suggestions like black fakes or fake lakes, etc. But I don't want to give away the one we actually settled on, because otherwise I'll be giving away our show. But it was quite funny.
Yeah, so maybe we'll keep that in the back pocket for 20 to 30 years from now, when we may have sold some stuff.
Yeah, sure. I'm clearly like my nasal tastes are very, very non Blacklist related. There's another person, Kaz, who hates the new car smell, and
Hey,
Teresa
Scott,
agrees.
your taste in scents.
My taste smell
stinks.
Yeah, indeed.
See what I did there?
I did. I am. I need to obviously change the olfactory receptors that I have and do something else. But you know what? What about freshly cut grass? How do we feel about that, people?
I never used to like it.
Okay.
And now I kind of do.
Oh, right. I don't love it, but I'm all right with it.
Yeah. That's where I am. I used to
Yeah.
really, really dislike it, and also the smell of rain when it hits like the roads and tarmac and stuff.
I'm kind of that has a word. Again, there's a word for that smell, the earthy smell after a rainstorm. I can't remember what it is, but there is a specific word for that. But yeah, no, it's all right, Susie. You don't have to apologise. If everyone hates new car smell, that's fine. I'll drive around my new car. You drive around your own.
Firelighters smell incredible. I would every time I get a firelighter out for a barbecue, I'm like, part of me wants to eat this. It's so good. It's like when you get to a petrol station and you're filling the car up, but it's just like,
yeah, petrol isn't what it does. I quite like the smell of felt sometimes. Some certain felt tip pens can smell quite nice.
You're there huffing a Sharpie.
Yeah.
Mandy says, saying hi quickly, I've got visitors, so I can't join tonight. Have great gigs this weekend, though. Hi, Mandy. Hi and bye, Mandy. Make sure you skim back to the beginning to see our brand new intro. It's the only interesting thing that's happened this evening.
Yeah. Just me and Will talking rubbish about incense, and the other stuff is so uninteresting I can't even remember what it was.
Petrichor. The name for the smell of rain is petrichor, Max says.
There you go. See? It is true. Yeah.
Thanks, Mac.
There we go. But not backing up my flavour argument, so someone else should be Googling that now and saying, he's right,
look, I'm just going to say that I may have Googled it quickly off screen, and it wasn't looking good for you, so...
Yeah. Well, this is
he's done it as well.
Well, no, I'm not Googled it. I don't care. It's fine. But I don't know if anyone else gets this, but I can actually smell things when you talk about them, if that makes sense.
That's like a memory thing, yeah.
Yeah, almost like a synesthesia thing, where you can actually smell something even though you're nowhere near it, just from the memory. It's incredible. I mean, it's only on a tiny, tiny scale, but to have certain flavours, sometimes I can taste bubble gum with certain memories or certain thoughts as well. It's pretty awesome. It is pretty awesome. It doesn't happen all the time, but then when someone posted about that, what's the word? I can't even remember the word. Petrichor, yeah. That I had the taste of it or the smell of it in my mouth, in my head. I should stop talking at this point. Oh my god. Oh, please, someone put me down. Just end me.
Time to take you out to the old pastures.
Yeah, absolutely. While I sniff my new car.
Smells are linked to memories. Black Sunshine says, yeah, totally. And taste. The whole brain is bloody crazy. If I have cinnamon or a root beer, I'm taken back to the exact place. This lodge that I was in the States. First time I've been to the States, and just they use cinnamon on everything. Everything is covered in cinnamon. It's amazing. And
if you like cinnamon.
Oh yeah, and I do. But up until that point, I'd never really been exposed to it. So every time I have it, I'm just I'm right there.
I've got to be in the right mood for cinnamon. It's good with pastries and things, but I don't love cinnamon, but I don't hate it either. Occasional occasional right mood for cinnamon for me.
You know what? Black Sunshine. Do you get mug root beer where you are? Because mug root beer. I want a mug root beer so bad, and I can't get it.
Mug root beer. What is mug? I mean, I know what a root beer is, but what the hell is mug root beer?
It's a type of root beer. Mug
so
was
Mug
was the company. Yeah, I'm gonna have to PayPal transfer you some cash, and you're gonna have to get me some mug root beer because I'm desperate. and it won't live up to expectations. I know.
No,
like the memory of it is far superior, I'm sure. But I'd really like to have some mug.
100%. I very, very quickly stopped watching any of the shows from my childhood in my head that I thought were amazing. Like the other week when the chap from Mr. Ben died, I'm like, I'm not going to go back and watch Mr. Ben because I've got a memory of it being awesome, and I reckon if I went back and watched it, it would be really bad. Mug is a brand. There you go. Yeah, Mug is the brand. Good. Let's clarified that. So it's a root beer by Mug.
Yes.
Good to know. That smells of cinnamon, incense, and new cars.
I'm trying to figure out where I was.
Oh God!
Because everyone always asks where I was when I went to the States, but I was young and I don't know. Let's just.
You went.
I was in Maine. I was in Maine.
Oh, there we go. It was clearly the best place to go, Will, because it was the main attraction.
Hey, I see what you did there. It was fucking terrible.
Well, I like my dad jokes. What can I say?
I was trying to figure out where
Maine's East Coast again, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Be another handy quiz question or something like that at some point.
You'd be good in a pub quiz, that's for sure.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
It's quite close to Canada, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the capital of Maine is. I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm fairly sure. Like, it seems like a very long way looking at it on the map. I thought we flew into Detroit and then drove to Maine, but that looks like a long way.
That's far. That's like half. Not half.
Yeah, I reckon we flew into Boston.
Yeah, I think you probably flew into New York or Boston. Yeah, and went to Maine. Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't New York. It must have been Boston. It must have flown into Boston and then.
See, this I'm liking. They put cinnamon on everything in Maine. Weirdos. See, that's more like it.
See, that is where my love of cinnamon comes from. Like, literally, the place we were staying, it was like a ski dorm place, and you come down from the bedrooms, and the whole like shared space and the catering area, it just had this smell of like fresh cooked like pastries with cinnamon. Like everything just smelled like cinnamon. It was incredible.
I don't know what Bangor means. Is Bangor a place in Maine? Because
Bangor's certainly a place in North Wales.
Yeah, it's a very specific, famous place in Wales.
I had a girlfriend who lived in Bangor, and it was bloody awful having to drive up there.
It's a fair way away.
It's a long way. I mean, nothing compared to the States, but
sure. Yeah, maybe we'll play North Wales at some point. In fact, is every hint we drop actually fairly cryptic at some point? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
But yeah, no, indeed. Yeah, no, Bangor well.
Yeah, I know it reasonably well.
Well, clearly, if you had a girlfriend up there, then you took a girl to Bangor. I think. Oh, I see. I think it's the capital. So the capital of Maine is Bangor. Wow. Yeah, I see. Yes, it's a place in Maine. Wow, I'm all getting educated.
Well, there you go. See, you've learned something tonight. So have I.
I've descended the blacklist into pointless trivia.
Go to the Tivoli in Buckley.
We no comment. No comment.
I don't even know what that is. I don't know what Tivoli is. I don't know what Buckley is. No comment, like Scott said. Let's carry on.
But I was thinking we could do a quiz. So very, very long time ago, right at the beginning of lockdown, we were obviously all tearing our hair out. So we did a Black Lakes like rock quiz. So we all basically came up with questions for each other to try and entertain ourselves. And I actually asked one Black Lakes related questions. So maybe we should dig those out for the Blacklist and do a Blacklist pub quiz special.
Oh no, because I remember the feeling on that night doing that pub quiz, and like everyone, everyone was like, oh yeah, do like 10 questions on like your specialist subject, and I was like, yeah, this is great, and like everyone came to it with like, oh, this band in the 90s and this, or this band's debut, and I was like, oh, this computer game, and I was just like, no one knew any of the answers to my questions.
No. It was a rock quiz, Will. So the idea it was based on rock music and rock bands, and you were like, who's the 5th level character in Overwatch you must defeat when picking up the magic sword? And everyone's like, don't play Overwatch, mate. Got no idea what you're talking about.
It was sad. It was sad.
Yeah. I think my question was, what's the most used, or what word appears the most in the Divide? I think that was the question that I'd come up with. Because I counted.
And I believe the answer is 1.
That's correct. Yeah, it was 14 times we say 1 in the Divide. So like 1 by 1, now you're one of us, etc. So yeah, when you count them all up, there's actually 14.
One more time.
There you go. There's 14 ones, which is oxymoronic in the Divide.
Nice. See what you did there.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So, funnily enough, without getting too specific, we have heard of the Tivoli, and yes, there may or may not be conversation.
Teresa, we have heard of it.
You've definitely, definitely heard of it. But we'll have to see what happens. Thanks, Teresa. That's kind. Yeah, it's feels like an old one now.
It is an old one.
It is. Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. But it's still on the first record. But yeah, that was the first thing to come out, so it does feel like a while ago.
That was the first song that came out in demo form.
It was.
We released it at midnight on New Year's Day.
We did.
Was that like 2018 into 19 or 2017 into 18?
No, I think it was 18 into 19, wasn't it? I think.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, it's a thing. It's the Black Lakes thing.
Mm.
Hey, and this is terrible because I'm actually gonna not exclude, but Dav played me a new melody for one of the new songs right after you left. It was good. I'm looking forward to you hearing that. So yeah, I know, right? It was good. I heard it. Where were you? You left. So yeah, shocking. You were single out. Oh right, okay. First you'd heard of us. Wow, that is really interesting to know. Yeah, I didn't know. I had never asked that question. What is the first song of ours you heard? Blacklist.
The first song I ever heard.
Yeah, I know.
By you guys, was a very, very, very different version of what grew to become Landslide.
That is true.
At the time, it was called Notion.
It was called Notion, yeah.
And it had a very, very different style, a very different theme.
Still sounds the same to me, but
well,
it probably
did. If you put them side by side and listened again now.
Yeah, it's funny actually going back and listening to some of the demos of stuff. It's quite interesting. I got the I was not intentionally. I just happened to stumble across like one of the very, very early demos of Dissident the other day.
Oh yeah.
Like the start, it goes on for about an hour and a half. I'm like, well, get to the riff, man. Get to the riff. Like, where's the riff? And then eventually the riff comes in. I'm like, God, I'm glad we didn't put it out like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's funny how they get crafted along the way.
It is fascinating. Yeah, it really is interesting how they end up coming out.
That's the beauty of this acoustic gig on this weekend, is that I have the final say over how long a riff goes on for, because most of it's so broken down and like sparse that if I decide not to come in at a certain point, you just have to do it again.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely true. And obviously, if you change the lyric, it's like, well, we're playing that bit. It's very vocally driven.
I could see Daft getting so exasperated last night when we were practicing. like the weird thing about the acoustic stuff is that you hear it differently each time.
I agree.
When we play live as a band, I'm very much I dial in. Like, I know a lot of singers don't. They dial into the drums or the bass or whatever. I dial into the lead guitar.
Sure.
So you'll always see me, like, during the Divide, I'm going and, like, under my breath, because I'm following the solos, and I always do it with this band. Always. So doing the acoustic stuff where you strip it all away, I'm kind of left to my own devices to like pick it up where I want to and go where I want to. And like Daff, who's like thankfully now got himself behind the microphone to do some harmonies, was getting exasperated because he's now got his harmonies pegged in his head where they need to be. And I'm like, I'm just coming in at some wild angle and doing some completely different.
Yeah, you were completely throwing him off because you get to ad lib for a change.
Yeah, but I was really enjoying that.
Yeah, absolutely, and Dav was not, because he wanted to nail it. And I'm sure we'll record a song or two from Saturday because you know, I can't remember the next time if we're gonna play live fairly soon at all ever acoustically again. So it'd be good to catch up.
I've been doing very, very well to get my nerves under control before shows. But the idea of doing an acoustic set in a sold out space is playing on my mind a little bit. You have to
get used to it. Unfortunately, I know what you mean though. You're a bit more exposed acoustically.
I wonder if we can like chuck, because it's acoustic. I wonder if we could chuck a live stream up on the Blacklist.
Well, yeah. Well, we could. We could certainly stream a couple of them, maybe.
Yeah.
So again,
Black Sunshine there saying
Saturday
that she's...
Sorry, go on.
Well, just Black Sunshine saying that she's sad that she's going to miss it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'll be Saturday night UK time, so we may well be able to live stream. Distant was the first one I heard, and it had me at hello. Made a hat trick soon after I had looked back. Funny enough, yeah. Please do record something. Of course, we'll try. Definitely do it. I was speaking to the Just Upsin guys, and one of them's favourite song is Ghost of Our Memory, so much so that he's played the album only up to Ghosts, and then he keeps going back and playing Ghosts 5 or 6 times, and then has to do something else but so he's never got past it, because he has to keep repeating Ghosts. So I'm like, that's amazing. So he literally has not got past that song yet, because he loves it so much, which is amazing.
There's a weird subsection, I'm turning into Sean Connery, subsection, snacks and drinks. There's a weird subsection of Black Lakes fans who really do think Ghosts is like the best.
Well, you describe them as, I would describe them as geniuses.
I would describe them as weird, purely because it's a nice song. Like, it's deep seated in its, you know, it was for a group of individuals involved in making it. It served a massive purpose.
We don't agree on that in terms of. You know, Ghost is a good song. I mean, as in. I was going to say you must agree that it served the purpose for us in terms of the making of it. Yeah, no, I see it as. I think the song is incredibly strong, and I can understand why for some people it's their favourite song. I really can. You know, there are some songs that I'm less so inclined to go, wow, that's fascinating. That's your favourite. But yeah, I do get why for some people, Ghost is their favourite song. Yeah. No, but again, I know for you it's different, and that's the beauty, isn't it, of being in a band? Everything's different. I can't pick a favourite from the first album, though. No, I think probably Dan's favourite is probably Avarice, and Dylan's is probably Landslide. It changes all the time for me. Like, I still like Left Behind at the moment. That's still my favourite. Just because I think about it like a songwriter, a well-crafted song, and because some of the other well-crafted songs are a bit older, that's the one that sticks in my mind at the moment. That's all. But I'm sure it'll change again. Yeah, and you know, if you are coming on Saturday or Sunday, but only Saturday are we playing For We Left Behind. That's true. Yeah, that is true. We'll be playing a very rare acoustic version of that tune. We've only played that live once, For We Left Behind. I don't know when the next time I play it live again is. It took a lot of convincing from Scott to get that one into the set this time round. The only reason we did it the first time round is because, and this is not because I don't like the song. It's just it's a very different song. It's a very exposing song. It's a very different song from the rest of the album for me. And yeah, we're doing it again on Saturday. So you see, Will and I get on very, 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 very well. And it's fair to say that occasionally, on some things, me and Will have very, very opposite opinions. Most of the time, we agree on most things. But occasionally, there's this me at one end and Will at the other going, why wouldn't you want to do that? And we'll go, why would we do that? And it's really fascinating. And For All You Left Behind Live is one of those where I'm like, this is an absolute doozy. It's going to be killer. And Will doth not agree.
But I told you last night when we were playing that I feel like we've got there with the acoustic version that actually is pretty cool. I just got to remember to do the lyrics right.
Well, For All You Left Behind acoustically is just a Thursday equivalent of the staircase to the Friday water slide towards For All You Left Behind coming into the live full set. There you go. That's what it's all about right there.
So you mean you've got an uphill ladder to climb to try and get me to get to the water slide? You got to push me up a ladder to get.
Well, I'm going to have to carry you up there and take a float like a dinghy for you to go down the water slide into.
Now I'm involved. Come on, I want to go down on the dinghy.
Oh my God! How have we been talking for 51 minutes again?
Criminy
of irrelevant rubbish.
I don't know, actually. To be honest,
no, not me.
What else have we got to say? Very quickly, if you are in the Merthyr area and want to come to a gig, we still have some tickets available for this one. It's going to be a massive show at the Red House. So those tickets are available on our web store right now. Please do.
18th of June, that one. I think that's actually the next gig after this weekend, I think. So that's the next one coming, I think. I might be wrong, but it feels like it is.
Quite possible. I've got some flyers, I think. I've got some little cool flyers. Rock and Roll Circus at the Red House, right here, let's see.
It'd be cool. I've never played Merthyr before, so that'll be...
No, I'm very much looking forward to playing the Red House. It looks like an awesome venue.
Yeah, no, and that's going to... Well, hopefully we'll get some good photos and footage from in there, because it is a spectacular building. Spectacular. So, I don't know. And again, another interesting one. I know people have got kind of used to the Wednesday, but I don't know. Maybe we'll move to a Thursday on an infrequent basis. Look at you. Look at your face.
When do you want to hump? Thursdays or Wednesdays? I
want to hump every day. Especially with...
Remember, you have an audience.
I have not forgotten that. That's what they're here for, is for us to forget that the audience is there. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Susie. Sorry. Yes, she's right. On the 4th of June, we're playing a festival, the Forge Ahead Festival as well. So that's actually the next show after this weekend. But yeah, it's the one after these two. Yeah, I need to go and lie down now, I think. I'm starting to descend.
If it's on our Facebook banner, we're playing it. If it's not on our Facebook banner yet, it's because we've been told we're not allowed to talk about it.
Or we're not playing it. Yeah.
Or we're not playing on those days, yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll have some people up with us in Merthyr. I was going to say everybody, so...
She's talking about... she's going to say every day about humping, I think.
Oh, I see. Yeah. No, I was just curious, because clearly for the band, Thursday's too much to cope with, because they can't remember that we were doing it Thursday.
Yeah, no one else turned up this evening, so...
No. Maybe we should go back to a Wednesday in future. I'm just thinking, what's 2 weeks today? It's the middle of May-ish then by then, isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it? The year is just disappearing. But we would have obviously played our acoustic show and our festival show by then, so that'll be exciting. Reports.
Our first festival.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
In
Swiftly followed by other ones this year. We're going to go from no festival band to 4 or 5 really fast.
But, carefully curated festivals, I would like to add.
As the Streets said once, not bestseller.
The Streets, wow.
Yeah, remember that.
Not about them in a while.
Indeed. And they had some reasonably okay lyrics and okay music for a little bit.
Didn't they have one about I've stopped sharking for a minute to get chips and that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just stopped chips and drinks, I think was the particular line, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I didn't mind Dry Your Eyes, mate. And it was
like the worst tune. Of course you loved that one.
And then we're back to this.
That was the Streets Ghosts of Our Memories.
Push Things Forward wasn't terrible either. I quite liked that when it came out. It was a bit different.
Urban Poetry. Yeah, was that the album?
I don't remember. Did it
have like a lighter on it or something? Like,
don't remember that either. Nope, got no recollection. I did see them live once, accidentally at a festival. I watched them because there's nothing much else going on. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the festivals. Absolutely, Kaz. It's going to be a blast.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, it will be. It will be. You're always the optimist, I know. So
I remember when I went to Reading one year and I saw Daphne and Celeste get annihilated with bottles of urine.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder what that's like.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it'll happen to us. I'd like to think we're not that polarized.
You wait till we break out our cover of UGLY.
I don't remember that song, sorry.
That was like their massive hit, mate.
I barely remember Daphne and Celeste, if I'm honest. I remember the name.
UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. Yeah, you ugly.
No, don't remember that. No.
Oh my.
I feel like I'm kind of proud to say. I remember the Rasmus getting bottled off with piss at Reading.
Yeah, well, that was a mistake. Everyone who did that should be embarrassed.
Yeah, well.
50 Cent though, to his credit, was it 50 Cent? Was it Eminem? Eminem, I think it was. When I saw him at Reading, he came out with a fucking trolley full of bottles.
Yeah.
And he gave as good as he got, like.
Yeah, to throw them back out.
Because at the time, it was kind of like.
It was a bit weird, Eminem playing Reading. Yeah, I remember.
They were a bit ahead of their time with that booking.
Yeah, I bet the Reading bottle throwing is interesting to watch from the sidelines. So I thankfully missed. I wasn't involved in any bottle throwing or any of the Readings where famously 50 Cent, the Rasmus, and it seems Daphne and Celeste got bottled off.
Daphne and Celeste didn't even last a single song.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise.
It was literally, you know when you watch medieval films or like Lord of the Rings or like all the archers like black out the sky with the amount of arrows. It was like that, but with urine-filled bottles.
They I wouldn't say.
Yeah, that was it. Eminem and D12. Susie said.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Purple Pills, great tune. Boo.
I've seen so many obscure people at Reading that I wouldn't normally watch, like Dizzy Rascal. I've seen at Reading. Because again, there was nothing else on elsewhere. I've seen Madness at Reading. That was quite fun. But there's such obscure bands I've seen at Reading, which I quite liked about Reading. It's a bit of a mix of all sorts. I've proud to say I've walked away from not watching Razorlight to watch anything that was on any other tent at any point ever.
Was Concrete Jungle, was that a stage at Reading? The Concrete Jungle stage? I feel like that was their punk stage.
Yeah, I think it was like a heavy stage. I think it's called the Pit these days. But yeah, the Concrete Jungle.
Yeah, it's good. I've seen some good bands in the Concrete Jungle back in the day.
Cracking stuff at Reading.
I remember being like the worst thing about Reading and the piss bottles is like when you want to see the band and like the piss bottles is distressing enough because you know they're not going to hack it for the whole set. But when you're stood there watching the band and every now and again you just feel like just a trickle come over your face as the bottle goes over and you're like. You're desperately trying to tell yourself that's probably just water. That is probably just water. But you know in your heart of hearts that's someone else's piss.
Absolutely. So Meatloaf, he got piss bottled at the Monster of the Rock. That's again, I think he's sort of gone more happily into the nation's hearts over the years. But I think at that point, I can totally understand why good old Meat was pissed off with bottles of piss. I was glad not to be in the fray with that. Yeah. Famous Walt Van Tour, yeah, now indeed. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I'm now slightly looking forward to my festival slot on Sunday with the band as we get.
I'm going to bring a bottle. I'm just going to lob at you just and watch you freak out for a second.
We just come out and go woo woo do.
Yeah, I'd love to, mate. If you want to put a cover in of In the Shadows, I am all over it.
I know you're a fan. So yeah, and again, I think it was a bit unfair on the Rasmus. I would agree, but in my personal opinion, completely fair for 50 Cent. That to me was not my cup of tea. Not my cup of
Right, we've been chatting for an hour.
Oh my god, we should definitely call album do that. Blacklist, Hooray for Ponchos.
Hooray for Ponchos. That's the album title for number 2. You heard it here first, exclusively. on the Blacklist. Right, Scott, give us your final thoughts.
Well, yeah, see you maybe this weekend, otherwise a couple of weeks, and we will talk about the acoustic gig that has just been. Hopefully more things that we can't talk about we'll be allowed to talk about. But yeah, I can't believe we're in the middle of the year and entering Black Lake's festival season, effectively. So lots of festival tales to share, and you know, driving and share housing tales and all the rock and roll goodness that it brings.
Yep, send us your money so that we can go in a van, and we shall see you on the road. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for spending your Wednesday hump night / Thursday with us.
We'll see you later.
Cheers.
Thanks. Take care.